Hello and welcome to another episode of That Interview Show. Today I will be talking to my grandparents again, Dawn and Robert Meyers. This time about their earlier years when they met, and more specific things about that kind of area of their life, being like before the 1950s and stuff like that, raising kids in early Australia. It's a very improvised interview, but it's more for me to get both an idea of my grandparents when they were younger, but also just more to remember them by. So it's not a full-fledged professional interview or whatever. So just enjoy it if you want to, just as like a listening to your grandparents kind of thing. So yeah, enjoy. Hello, welcome to another episode of That Interview Show. Today I'll be talking to my grandparents, Dawn and Robert Meyers. More or less just about how they met, as it's approaching your 59th? Anniversary, that's the word. I was trying to say marriage, but it wouldn't come into my mouth.
In 3 days' time.
In 3 days' time, yeah. So there was a coincidence in terms of timing for this.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm only here to do the plans. Excellent. So, we'll start off with what year you two met and how. Like, was it like a high school thing or at work or what?
No, the Church of England in Yarraville had a reunion of all old members of the church, invited them all. And they had this big dinner at the Catholic church hall. And Nan was there as a hostess, and she sort of took my eye a bit, you know. And my auntie, who went to church regularly, said to me, "You come to church next Sunday," and he said, "I'll introduce you to her."
She was going to introduce you to me after the dance, but I left early after the dinner, but I left early.
Anyway, I didn't know. Anyway, on the Saturday I tore all the ligaments in my ankle, so I never got to church because I finished up with plaster all over my leg, which I had for some months, and then they put me on a walking plaster, and then after that I was on a caliper. But there was a dance at the church hall.
Explain to me what a caliper is.
Yeah, on your leg, to hold your leg together. Anyway, there was a dance, the church was having a dance, and somehow or other, one of the girls at the church got in touch with me, wanted to know if I'd come and bring some friends. So I took a whole heap of my mates there. Anyway, one of my mates was just going to go off to grab Dawn for a dance.
I went to school with him.
Yeah. Anyway, I grabbed him by the pants, and as he turned around to see her had in my pants, I flew past him and grabbed her for the dance, and we danced all the rest of the night. And that's what started it all. Yeah, and from there on we went to 59 years.
That would have been 58,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so that was that. That's how we met.
So what year was that?
1958.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
At the middle of the year, about June or July, something like that.
And when was it that? What year that? I feel like I should be able to calculate what year you got married, but what year was it that?
1959.
Okay. Nice. I don't know, I guess with the kind of conventions of the time, how was the relationship like? Was it just going out on dates and down?
Yeah, go to the movies,
dinners,
go to parties, go to dances, yeah.
Yeah, I had 3 mates, and
Picnics.
we'd all come up to our place in Princess Street and watch the Graham Kennedy on the TV every Friday night. So there'd be Dawn and her girlfriend Lynette and my 3 mates. And then, so we had some fun nights, didn't we, on watching the Graham Kennedy show.
See, they had an old house that was built in the 1800s, and it had 2 lounge rooms, so his parents were in one and we were in the other one.
Yes. So that went on for quite a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd take the car every Saturday night, his father's car, to go out if they didn't need it. And he'd bought a television set for the house when television had first come in.
Mm.
And so they stayed home and watched the television, and we went out in the car. And his father always left the car almost empty. And he wouldn't just put in what we used, he would fill it up. So his father was on a great wicket, wasn't he?
Mm.
After we got married, he said to Robert one time, I don't know what's wrong with the car, there's something wrong with the car. And Robert said, Pa said, what do you mean, something wrong with the car? And he said, well, I've always put petrol in it.
How long was it till you? So, yeah, how long was it till you got your first house together?
8 years.
Jeez.
Mm.
So, were you living in an apartment together, or?
So no, there was a house we were renting.
We started off in a little sleep out first in the back of a house in Newport.
2 rooms, a
Yeah.
bedroom and a dining, come kitchen, come whatever.
And then one of my mates, his grandmother had a house, and the grandmother had to go into a nursing home, and so my mate's auntie and uncle who he lived with asked us if we'd go and rent the house, and it was only very small rentage on it.
Yeah,
And
it's just before Stephen was born.
yeah, so that's where Stephen and David were born when we were living in that house in Shutt Street, Newport. We were there for a few years, weren't we?
5.
5 years. Then I'd had a job at the Woolen Mills, which I was a loom tune, that was my trade. And the mill shut down, and I'd been there about 11.5 years. And so we all lost our jobs. Anyway, I got a job with me mate's father had an engineering factory, and they gave me a job there. It was actually the worst job I ever had in my life, I reckon. And I was there for 18 months and stuck it out. And then I've got an offer of a job at the ICI Deer Park in the explosives. And that meant I had to travel from Newport to Deer Park every day. Anyway, then we decided we'd get a house out that way, so we got the house at West Sunshine. So I didn't have that far to go to work then. So I was there for about 5 years, I think, wasn't it? 5.5 years. And when I started there, it was only 2 shifts, day and afternoon. Then they brought in the night shift, and I didn't.
It was a killer.
Yeah, I didn't take to that too well. Anyway, the chap a couple of doors down from where we lived, he used to help me with the garden. He used to do a bit of landscaping. Anyway, he said to me one day, he knew I wasn't happy at Deer Park, the explosives. He said to me, oh look, he said, I want a chap down at Torben's Paints as a varnish maker, you know.
He was a supervisor, this
Yeah. Anyway, so went down there, and I got the job, and I was at Torben's for about 18.5 years.
Not always in that job though.
Oh no, I couldn't stay as a varnish maker because the fumes got to me, and anyway they gave me a job outside in the stores. So I was a storeman forklift driver. And I used to look after the backyard where all the stores are on the backyard. Yes, so then after 18.5 years there, your nan wanted to go and live at Max Cove near her auntie and uncle.
I do want to come and live down here.
Yeah, so she reckoned. So I tossed my job in, and
We went and saw the personnel officer up there to see if there were jobs, and she said there's plenty of jobs, you shouldn't have any problems. Question 7 on every paper they gave you, to questions to answer to apply for the job, was, do you have any back problems? And he wasn't going to get a job.
so I virtually at the age of 51, I was on sickness benefits for the doctor. Anyway, after a while, the doctor said, "Oh, this is no good. We've got to do something about it." So he done all the paperwork and everything and put in for a pension for me. And
Invalid pension.
invalid pension. And the doctors up the road was the government doctor to assess everyone. Of course, they sent me up there. So he said, by the time I'd finished with him, I was worse than when I went in there. Anyway, he said, "Oh, you'll be okay." And I don't know what he meant by that. Anyway, after a while, this lady came out from Wangaratta, wasn't it, to our house at Max Cove.
And we were building.
Yeah, and
She wanted to know if we were the builders.
yeah,
No.
she wanted to know everything. She even wanted to know all about my mum and dad, where my dad went to war and
Where they
how
were
long he was
educated.
there. And
All this sort of stuff.
oh, she went through that much stuff. Anyway, by the time she'd finished interviewing us, she said, "Oh, you'll be on a pension of about 28 or 20, something like that." And we thought, well,
25%, she said.
25 out of what you normally say out of a percentage
Out of
would be out of
100,
100,
That's not
And
very
we sort of
much.
looked at each other, and she seen the look on us. She said, "Oh no, you'll be all right." She said, "If you're assessed at 30, you're in a wheelchair." So
I don't know how they did their percentages, but
yeah. So anyway, I got the full pension. I got full pension. Then, of course, as I got up to 65, then it became the old age pension. So that's what we lived on from the time I was 51. Yeah, I got a little bit of money out of. I didn't get enough out of me super. I was a bit. I didn't know that I was so busy working a lot of overtime and everything. I was putting all my money into buying the house, which I found out was I'd done the wrong thing, because what I should have been doing was just paying the house off as normal and putting my extra money into my super. But of course, me just being not in with money and all that sort of thing, all I could see was I had to have a house for my wife and my kids. And that's all I could see. And then it wasn't until too late that I got told about the fact that what I should have done, because the super tours was fantastic,
Yeah, it was
really
very good.
fantastic. And of course then I started putting a bit of extra money into it, but then it was only months later that we gave it up, so I didn't get as much out of me super that I should have got. But the thing was, we had everything we had was our own house and car and everything. And we bought this log cabin up at Max Cove, and we went up there and built onto it and made it a bigger place. And we stayed there for, 14 years?
9.5.
9.5 years, right? Yeah, 9.5 years. Then she was starting to go batty. And of course, David was, Michelle was starting their family. And so we decided we'd come down closer to them, because your mum had no relations or anything. She was more or less on her own from Tasmania. So we didn't want to go back into the city anyway. We finished up at Healesville, so that wasn't that far away. And we shifted to Healesville the day before you were born. And we were absolutely buggered.
It was funny because you were over, I think you were overdue, and I said to your
Yes,
father,
9 days.
yeah,
Mum always reminds me, 9 days.
I said to your father, I think Saturday. And he said, "Why Saturday?" I said, "Because we're moving down on Friday." And he rang me up Saturday morning and he said, "You'd arrived." I said,
Yeah.
"I told you, he's waiting for us."
And of course, I'd left a lot of stuff down at David's place, and we decided to put the trailer and bring it home, and it was getting pretty late. We were
It was
absolutely
dark.
Yeah, we were absolutely buggered. Anyway, we got to Healesville and hadn't had anything to eat, so we went to a Chinese.
Best meal I'd had for a long time.
Yeah. And by the time we got back to the new house, we just flopped, and that was it. Oh God! But the funny part about it, when we were buying the new house, Auntie Phil wanted to see it. So we brought her up to see the new house. And I'm in one room and I can hear this thump. What the hell's going on? I go in the room, there's Auntie Phil jumping up and down.
Making sure the floorboards.
Oh shit, I haven't finished yet.
Sorry.
I said, what are you doing? She just said, I'm making sure the stumps are alright in the place, you know.
Is that what else she was doing? Sniffing. You got to sniff the mould.
Yeah, God, she was a character, a real character. I think every house we went into, except this one, I think, she had a look at before we went in all.
Oh, you're not Mexico though.
Oh, well, yeah, her and Uncle Art used to come up there a lot on holidays.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of time with Art and Phil up there. Because they used to come up and stay with Bill and Ann. And, there was always card games every night. Oh, it's so fun. Because we got friends with a lot of other people, because we all used to come and play cards. And oh, God, some of the things that happened were funny. In fact, I said when Auntie Phil had her 100th birthday the other month, I said to her, do you realise there's only you and Dawn and I left from the card games? I said, all the others are up there talking his lordship into playing with them.
She still plays cards.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday she goes to the bowling club.
Yeah,
Taxi picks her up, brings her back.
She has a taxi driver who just does for her. So he brought her up here. Cost her $100 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, each way.
Each way or something. He brought her up, dropped her here for the day and then came back later.
The daughter hit the roof. She says, my money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when she bought the car. She's that was a beauty. She'd had a bit of a turn and they took the car, the car she had actually was sort of owned by Jill and Ken through their firm sort of thing. So when she had this turn, they took the car off and sold it, see.
And she lost her independence.
Yes. And it worked out, but what she had wasn't as bad as what they thought.
No,
you
she
know.
was in her 80s then.
Anyway, she called us up. She said, will you come with me while I buy a car? She said, my bloody money if I want to buy a car. I said, oh shit, a little bit bloody, you know, Jill and Ken, I don't know where they ever found out we went with them or not.
No.
Anyway, we went with her and she's looking at this little Kia like ours. And anyway, the bloke said, oh, I'll take it for a drive. So she's driving. I'm in the back seat and the bloke from the service station's in with her, you know. Anyway, we're halfway around where we're going and all of a sudden she says to the bloke, do you know, she said, you didn't even ask me if I had a licence. She said, I could be driving this without a licence. Oh, she said, oh, bloody hell, she's quick.
She got home when the day that the car was delivered to the house. She took the book that comes with the car out of the glove box, the manual, and sat down and read it from one cover to the other. So she'd know all about her car.
But it didn't matter, whatever she was involved in, she'd done it 100%. Like when she was at Footscray Park Bowling Club, they used to hate their annual meetings coming because if the men or women wanted to bring something up that wasn't in the Constitution, she'd be up on the floor. You can't do that, it's not in the Constitution. Oh, I used to dread her being at the...
But she knew it all.
She she was an umpire and a coach. Bloody good bowler. She won a lot of singles championships. Yeah. More than what Lindsay said too at her 100th birthday.
Well, I don't know. He didn't know much about it.
I was prepared to get up and say something, but of course they got Lindsay up, so I just shut up. But I had it all worked out what I was going to say and have a bit of fun with it, you know. But
you hadn't seen her for 30 years.
Yeah, we'd had more to do with her than any of the other cousins or anything, you know. Because I'm the oldest in-law, and she's the oldest granddaughter or
Grandchild.
Niece, oldest niece.
Yeah.
So we've done, and of course then. When we shifted to Healesville, we've seen a lot more of it because we used to drop in and have lunch with her and that sort of. And her and Anne used to come up to our place, and it was so we seen a lot of it, and because her and Aunt used to come up to Ben's Cove quite regularly, so we seen quite a bit of them up there. So we more or less had more to do with them than any of the other relations, really. But the funny part about it, before I met your Nan, her cousin Ray,
My cousin.
I knew him before I met her. And Jill's husband, Ken, I knew him and all his family because they were all in the Scouts when we were in the Scouts together. So I knew them before I knew any of them. Yeah, so that was all. So Auntie Phil's been quite a lot to do with us in the past, hasn't she? Really? More than anyone else. Yeah.
And how about with Stephen and Dad? When it came to raising them, was that I don't know, a challenge, or especially that was the 60s?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were born in 62 and 64.
Stephen was the challenge.
He was the challenge, yeah.
He was a bugger of
He
a
was
kid.
lively.
He,
But, Pa owed me some money. It was $20. And he left on the chair in the lounge room. They were primary school at the time. When he came home, I said to him, you didn't give me that $20 you owed me, so I left on the chair in the lounge room. Stephen had taken me to school and shouted to all his mates.
he was a bugger of a kid. Geez, things he done. God's truth. Of course,
I
when
made him go without dinner one night. I can't remember what he did. I said to him, go to your room. You're not getting your dinner. And David spent the whole dinner time saying, he'll be hungry, he'll be hungry. God's sake, should have done as he was told. He survived.
Yeah, we used to cart them around a lot when they used to be in bands together. Stephen was in bands, and I used to cart all these drums around them. And
Well, he had a ute.
yeah, and David was the same. When he had in his bands, I used to take the gear around and we used to go and watch them and that.
David's band used to practice in the garage
Yeah.
until we found a spot that in Deer Park, I think it was, I'm not sure, that the council had this building, house or something. It wasn't a house, it was a hall, and they were allowed to practice in there, which was good.
But it was one day they were coming to practice in the garage, and I was out in the garage working and doing mucking around. And these two kids come up and said, "Oh, we don't want you in here while we're practicing." Oh yeah, so I went out the garage, and as I went out, David was coming out of the house. I said, "I've just been kicked out of my own bloody garage." He said, "What do you mean?" I just told me to get out. They want me. He went in and he blew the shit out of them and told them to piss off.
But David was very quiet, but when he saw there was an injustice being done, he stood up for him.
Yeah, pissed these kids off. That was the end of that band. Yeah.
He was older. He was at Teachers Training College. He came up from Geelong.
Who?
That bloke that spoke to you.
The big one had the
blonde.
the guitar.
Yeah. Mm.
The other kid was a singer, and he was had a beautiful voice, really, but he used to forget the words a lot, and he'd sort of work over it. You wouldn't know that he'd sort of lost it. And he was actually on one of the TV shows, and he not so many years ago, and he done very well on it. And apparently he was married with 4 kids. Yeah, he's only single. And
David had, when he had his own band, he had this little bloke from, he was younger than David, he was 4 months below him at school, but his name was, no, it wasn't him, Stephen, it was Stephen. Stephen comes home from school one day, all excited. New boy started school today, Mum, and I said, "Oh, that's good. What's he like?" "Oh, yes, he's good." He said, "Then you won't even think about what his name was." And I said what his name is, and I said, what is it? And he said, Stephen Myers. And he said, spelt the same way as mine.
And his father was Robert.
His father was Robert Myers. And so the teacher decided that she'd use their second, one of them would have to use his second name. Well, they both had Robert as their second name. So she called him Stephen 1 and Stephen 2. Oh, it wouldn't happen in a million years, especially with the same spelling and everything.
We changed Stephen out of the tech school because he wasn't getting the right tuition there. So we sent him up to Deer Park, the same as David was, you know. So he was a bit up further, David. Anyway, he had this teacher there, and we went up.
She was lovely.
Yeah, she married a detective actually. Anyway, we went up to the parent-teacher interview, and she said, "Oh shit, that son of yours."
She said, "I'm so glad you came along." She said she'd never been stuck for words as a teacher before until Stephen got into her class.
And he was there daydreaming sort of, and she said to him,
"What did I just say, Stephen?
What did I just say to you?" And he said, Don't disturb me now, I've got a song in my head.
You've got to forget the words. She said, I really was stumped for words.
Anyway, of course,
the next year,
because David comes up and said, oh God, no, not another Myers.
So we waited, and I never said anything until halfway through the year. And we went to a parent-teacher interview, and I said, tell me something. I said, what did you think when you had another Myers? And she said, I wasn't happy about it. And she said, and I kept saying to him all year, are you sure you two are related?
David got on real... Yeah, she actually went up to class with them, didn't she?
Yeah.
They had a good class of kids.
He went to her wedding and all.
Yeah, and, they were cool.
She was nice.
Yeah, she finished up marrying this detective, they had a couple of kids, yeah. Oh, bloody Stephen. Oh, God, he got into some strong. But he gave himself away, you know. He couldn't lie straight.
No.
You know, you knew bloody well he was lying to you. You could tell every time. But David, well, not that he ever really got into any trouble, really. No. But one time it was quite funny. They come home and Stephen's saying to David, go on, tell Dad. Go tell him Dave's doing it. Shut up, you know. And I said, what the hell's going on, you know? Anyway, David had got one cut at school, the strap, one cut. Because I started laughing, and they both looked at me silly. We're laughing. I said, one cut? I said, I used to get them 6 at a time for each hand.
But what hurt David more than anything else was he wasn't guilty of the crime.
He got blamed for it.
He got blamed for it. So
yeah,
that's
we used to get 6 at a time. You pulled your hand away, you got it around your legs, you know. One teacher, you have to have your hands like that, you wrap it around the legs. And, never hurt any of us. We all grew up. At least we had more respect from the kids that come along later.
Hard way to learn it.
You never heard of a girl swearing in school when we went to school, and the boys wouldn't swear in front of a girl. And that's one of the biggest problems today, is there is no respect in this world anymore. And the girls have got themselves in a position, but they're virtually... the boys don't have any respect for them anymore because they don't
show respect themselves.
Yeah. It's the way they swear and drink and smoke and carry on. They're worse than the boys, some of them. Geez, you only got to go down the plaza where we were, and down the road about the other day on Thursday, and a couple of girls, God, the language, no, was just screaming it out, you know. But, so they don't demand respect anymore. But we used to have our own swimming pool at Hyde Street, same little swimming pool. And the boys, when the boys went in to swim, we had to wear nothing. Didn't have swimming tops on.
Can you imagine them getting away with it these days?
But see, also, a lot of the kids' fathers had gone to that school also with the same size, so they just accepted it in those days. But the girls always went a separate day, but they wore tops. But the teacher would stand there with his hands behind his back, eyeing all the boys off. But, you know, by geez, today, he would have been put in bloody jail. Yeah, they all wouldn't have been on then. No, we just accepted it in those days. But, boy, gee, it wouldn't have happened these days. In fact, I think that swimming pool's gone now, been filled in.
I think it was in disrepair anyway.
Yeah, it was only a little pool one, and it went for about the length of this bloody room. I got my Herald certificate swimming in there. Yeah. Yes, it was good old school. Although I hated school, I never liked school.
We had Stephen come home from school one night, and I always read their homework and everything, you know, always did that, helped them with their homework. And I'm reading this particular thing, and I said to him, "Who's your teacher?" "Oh, Mr. So-and-so." And I said, "Well, that's a mistake." I said, "You wouldn't believe me because Mr. So-and-so would let it go through." And the teacher was, of course, knew what he was doing more than what I knew, didn't he? So I took up the dictionary out and I said, "There's the word there." "Oh, okay." So he goes to school the next day and he says to Mr. So-and-so, "My mum said that this is wrong." And he said, "Oh, yes, it is too." "Okay," and he corrected it. So he brought it home, he said, "You were right, Mum, look, he's corrected." And I said, "But he's corrected it incorrectly." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "That's still not correct." Anyway, parent-teacher interview some months later, and this chap said to me, "Oh, he said, I've got an apology to make to you, Mrs. Myers." And I said, "Oh, have you?" He said, "Yes." And Stephen had gone and told him that Mum said that correction was wrong. And I said, "Well, you're paid to teach them." I said, "And if you can't teach them properly, I don't want you teaching my job." And he said, "I'll have to apologise." I thought, God. He wasn't a young teacher. I mean, he wasn't an old teacher, but he would have been 30, I suppose, you know.
Sam, I'll call him back.
Oh, someone else. Yeah, so he went off and told the teacher that Mum said this is wrong.
I think lastly, we'll touch on just like, I guess more of the specifics as to like, because of course before marriage you got to pop the question, what was that like for you two? Like how did you go about doing it?
Oh, popping the question? Yeah, I'll tell this. We were sitting in the car, we'd been out for the night, and he said to me, "Would you like a ring for your next birthday?" What sort of a ring? Friendship ring?
No, an arsehole ring.
You're on camera, Robert. You can dub that out, can't you? Yeah, that's how he asked. It was only 6 weeks after we met.
Really?
Yes.
Geez, I must have been silly.
So after we got married, he had a diary. He won't keep a diary now. You know, things come up, and he doubles up on everything because he won't keep a diary. But he had a diary then. I didn't even have a diary then.
You had a diary and filled in with the way you treat me today. People would think, "Gee, she's a nasty old bloody tart."
Yeah, right.
The
So
way
anyway,
she treats him.
I've got to keep you in
Poor
mind.
little fella.
Anyway, he said he had written in there, "Asked Dawn to marry me 6 weeks after we met." Didn't exactly ask me to
Geez, I
marry
must
you.
have been sick.
He just said, "Would you like a ring for your next birthday?"
Yeah, we got married early too, because she'd left home. We had trouble with her mum and dad.
No, not dead.
And she was getting carted around all over the place. So I said, "Oh, we'll get married and be done with it." So we did.
See, in those days, girls didn't leave home. I was 20, but girls didn't leave home. Or I was nearly 20. I left home just before your birthday in the March, and I was 20 in the May. And you didn't get a house to rent or a flat to rent. That's my phone.
We'll get it.
Yeah, but I'm on camera.
I have an odd feeling that Sam
Oh, do you? Do you want to get it for me, Julian? It's over there. It's going to go out now. It's finished. Yeah.
Bring it over and she can...
Yeah, this.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What's he ringing me for?
He's probably calling me, and of course I didn't pick up the phone because I'm doing this.
Well, get that phone and she can...
Oh, he's calling again. Jesus Christ, Sam.
Must be important. Swipe it up. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, what's up? Yes. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Thanks.
What's he going on about?
Oh, just talking about the video I put up. That's right. What were we talking about?
Oh, yeah, so you didn't rent a house or a flat or anything like that. In those days, you found a room in somebody's house, you know, like they'd advertise, people had advertised a room that they had, and it wasn't working out. And then his sister said, oh, you can come and live with me. Well, that didn't work out. So that's when we decided to get married.
Yeah, we only had £300 between us.
Yeah, when we came back from our honeymoon, £300 was all we had.
Yeah, but we went over to Tassie for a honeymoon over there.
Went over for, he asked his boss if he could, because it was November, he asked his boss at the woolen mills if he could have a week off. And the boss said, oh, do you have to do it now? It's, you know, it's busy time. And he says, or as a matter of fact, I'm getting married, as a matter of fact. And the boss said, oh, we'll take some more time off and gave us another 2 days. Isn't that kind of him?
But they gave me a nice suit suit material, didn't they?
Yeah.
Got a nice suit out of that. That was the best suit I ever had. Till it shrunk on me. Every good suit I got, it shrunk on me. I don't know why. What do you do behind me back? Yeah, they're still shrinking. They're still shrinking on me. So I had to get new shorts yesterday because the others are all shrinking on me. Yeah. As you laugh, you've been shrinking. Your stuff's been shrinking a lot too lately.
Excellent. Well, I think yeah, that's question-wise at least that's all I got. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks for being on the show and for watching. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Excellent.
Good.
Cool.
That'll cost you £100.
Thanks for watching another episode of That Interview Show. If you liked it, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more. We have a first interview that I did with my grandparents, Dawn and Robert Meyers, back in 2017, maybe? Yeah, I'd say 2017. So that'll be in the That Interview Show playlist, which will be somewhere on screen right next slide during the credits, or linked in the description maybe, I don't know. If you want to see more interviews, there's of course the playlist, and there are 2 more interviews coming out with my grandparents, both individual ones. See you later.